You know, we walk past them every day. We live in them, we work in them, and we build our entire lives inside them. But behind every single building, there's this invisible framework, a massive document that dictates every little detail, all to keep us safe. Today, we're going to unlock the secrets of Kenya's National Building Code.
It's such a simple question, right? But the answer, well, it's incredibly complex. It's not just about the bricks and the mortar. It's about a set of meticulously planned rules. The answer is the code. All right, so if we really want to understand how our cities are built, we have to start with the blueprint itself. What exactly is this code, and why should you even care?
Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a giant recipe book. It doesn't just list the ingredients, the concrete, the steel, the glass. No, it gives you the precise instructions, the method, and the exact standards you need to combine them into a building that's not just functional, but most importantly, safe for every single person.
And here's the official purpose. This isn't just a set of friendly guidelines. This is a legal document. It's literally the law. It covers the entire life of a building, from the very first sketch to its daily upkeep, all with one single goal: protecting us, the public.
And just to give you a sense of the scale here, we are not talking about a little pamphlet. This thing is a truly comprehensive guide with 517 distinct paragraphs. Every single one covers a specific part of construction, from the type of screw you're allowed to use to the strength of the glass in a skyscraper. That number just shows you the incredible level of detail. Nothing is left to chance.
Okay, so how does this massive rulebook actually work in the real world? Let's do this. Let's follow the journey of a building, starting exactly where any project does, from the ground up. Before you even think about building upwards, there are three absolutely crucial stages. First up is siting. That's all about choosing the perfect spot. Then comes preparation, getting that ground ready. And finally, the foundation, the critical anchor that has to support everything that comes after. And the detail here is just incredible. I mean, even before the very first brick is laid, the code forces you to think way ahead. It's got rules for making sure construction trucks can actually get to the site, for testing the soil to make sure it's stable, and even for managing noise and dust to be a good neighbor. It's all about planning for a safe process and a safe final result.
All right, the groundwork is done, so it's time to go vertical. This next phase is all about creating the skeleton of the building. The strong, resilient bones that will give it its shape and all of its strength.
Now the code gets really smart about two different kinds of weight. First, you've got the dead load. That's just the building's own constant weight. But then there's the imposed load, which is everything we add to it. Us, our furniture, cars in the garage. The code makes sure the structure is designed to handle both, no problem. And that kind of thinking applies to every single piece of the structure. The code lays out specific rules for the materials you can use and exactly how you have to build the floors, the walls, and the roof. Every component has to meet this super high standard because, hey, a building is only as strong as its weakest link.
But look, a building is so much more than just its structure, right? It's the complex network of systems inside that actually make it a livable, working space. This is where the code makes sure a building really works for the people inside it.
This starts with the absolute basics, like making sure every room has enough natural light and a good flow of fresh air, things that are just fundamental to our health.
Then it dictates how we get clean water and, just as important, how we manage wastewater safely and hygienically. Of course, it provides strict rules for all electrical systems, from the wiring hidden in the walls to the outlets we plug into every day, all to prevent the risk of fire. And get this. This shows you just how forward-thinking the code is. It actually requires new buildings to have provisions for electric vehicle charging ports. It's preparing our buildings for a future that's pretty much already here.
And finally, the code really pushes for sustainability, with all sorts of strategies for energy efficiency, helping us create buildings that aren't just safe, but also a whole lot smarter and greener.
So after all the technical details about concrete and wiring and all that, we get to the real heart of the matter. Because the ultimate purpose of this entire massive code, it isn't really about buildings at all. It's about protecting people.
A huge section, Part 21, is completely dedicated to fire safety. It demands clear, unblocked escape routes, working alarm systems, sprinklers to put out fires, and making sure firefighters can actually get in to do their jobs. It's a multi-layered defense system, and it's all designed to save lives.
And when we say safe for everyone, we mean everyone.
The code makes sure buildings are accessible to people with disabilities, requiring things like ramps, accessible lifts, and wider hallways. This is not an afterthought, it is a core requirement for dignity and for inclusion.
You know, a building safety journey doesn't just stop when the construction crew leaves. The code actually mandates regular inspections and proper maintenance to make sure buildings stay safe for their entire lifespan. Safety is a continuous commitment.
And this just perfectly illustrates the entire mission. All 517 of those paragraphs, all the engineering, all the material specs, it all boils down to this one simple, powerful, and very human-centric goal. So, the blueprint exists. The rules are written down. But a code on a page can only do so much. It takes dedicated professionals and a public that's aware to turn those rules into a real-world culture of safety. So the final question, really, is for all of us. What's our role in building that culture?